Great. Welcome. Good morning.
Morning, Jeff.
Nice to have you. You're presenting again on Mdluli Safari Lodge, one of my favorite products in the 12J market. Not only offers financial returns, but also very much a lifestyle investment, as well as achieving a lot of ESG principles, which is very, very top of mind today for investors in the market. So without further ado, Malcolm, why don't you tell us a little bit about your fund?
Well, Jeff, why don't you keep going? You're doing a great job, so maybe you'd like to take it from here. So no, thank you. Thanks to Grovest, my home away from home, for the opportunity to speak about Mdluli Safari Lodge. It's something I'm very passionate about. It's a journey I've been on, believe it or not, for 20 years, which was finally unlocked in January of 2020, when the lodge was complete and hosted its first paying guest. As circumstance would be, as everybody is painfully aware, at the end of March last year, we were obliged to lock the lodge down through the COVID period, and we reopened again in September. And the lodge has been operating successfully since September of last year. So this is, as Jeff mentioned, it's a lifestyle investment, very, very different to all the other offerings which you've heard about this morning, or you will hear about it. And it's a way of getting for yourself, your family, your friends, holidays in luxury in the Kruger Park. We all know visiting game parks, visiting Kruger specifically, is deep in the DNA of South Africans, and this is really an unbelievable opportunity to secure that for yourself, as I say, and your friends and your family. It's now a 9-year period. It was originally a 10-year period, but because the lodge has been operating, as I said, for approximately a year, it's now a 9-year investment. So the structure, as it says, there is a new disruptive structure for leisure investment. Essentially what this means is that the return that you get for your investment is in the form of bed nights, free bed nights. So a bed night comprises dinner, bed, breakfast, and a game drive in a guided safari vehicle with a ranger, and that would be on the land, specifically in the Kruger National Park, and into the Kruger National Park itself. So for those who have invested previously, here's just some remarks that people who have made, who've invested previously and have stayed at the lodge in this last period of time. A no-brainer for anyone who loves the bush, and the best investment our family has ever made. Take note of the tent over there. As you can see, it's an oversized, ultra-luxury tent with the double bed at the top of the tent, and to the left-hand side, you can see a large, comfortable sleeper couch on which to accommodate your children. So where is the lodge located? It's located in the southwestern region of the Kruger National Park. From Gauteng, you travel Witbank, Middelburg, past Elzu on the right, Millies on the left, to Nelspruit up to White River. From White River, you take the road in the direction of Hazy View. You then turn off to Numbi Gate, and that will take you approximately 4 or 4.25 hours. There's then a short trip of approximately 10 kilometers from Numbi Gate to the gate of the lodge itself. Now, that trip, I won't specify how long it might take you, because there's a strong possibility that there you will encounter some elephants, some buffalo. This last weekend, there were lion on the road. Wild dog have been seen there recently. So you're in the Kruger National Park, and there's excellent game sighting even before you reach the lodge itself. So as I've said, this is suitable for individuals, families. It can be pooled amongst friends. It's fully tax deductible, and this is the uniqueness and the ingenuity of the structure, for which I credit Jeff, who's hosting us this morning. The investment packages are from 150,000, so it's 150,000, 250,000, 500,000, or $1 million. And the number of free bed nights that you get per annum for each of the 9 years to come is obviously dependent on the size of your investment package. There's attractive investment returns, and I'll touch briefly in a moment on the impact on the Mdluli community. I won't talk through this slide in detail. This is really just to indicate to you that in the marketing collateral, there is a very detailed analysis of how the cash flows and the returns work. In this particular example, it's a 500,000 Rand investment. And as you can see, it gives an indication of the IRRs on net capital invested and on gross capital invested. So this, as we say, is the uniqueness of the structure to access holidays in the Kruger National Park using Section 12J to get it to be entirely tax deductible. So this then is an example of the 500,000 Rand package, less the tax of 225,000. Your net investment would then be 275,000. The number of bed nights, again, a bed night, dinner, bed, breakfast, and one game drive, is 160 bed nights over the 9 years, which works out to an effective cost per bed night for that luxury tent, which you saw, of 1,700 Rand. And you should bear in mind that that's not just now, but that is up until 2029. Your cost per bed night is locked in at that price. So it really is a totally remarkable opportunity to invest and obtain your holidays in Kruger National Park. So there on the slide, we do show a comparison. Many of you will have invested in other forms of leisure investment, be it you own your own property or timeshare or fractional ownership, and you would know what the drawbacks of those traditional investment structures are. In respect of Mdluli, it's a much more flexible structure. Again, to emphasize, 100% tax deductible. You get a return of your capital over years 6 to 9. You get your leisure returns. You get flexible occupancy at your convenience. So again, just distinct from other types of holiday investment, you choose when you would like to stay at the lodge. You book at your convenience on the website. You go into the website, you check the accommodation dates that you'd want, the number of bed nights. When you make your investment, in addition to being given a share certificate and a tax certificate, you are given a unique investor number. You contact the lodge reservation facility, you give your unique investor number, and you book your bed nights. No annual levies, no monthly levies, and no special levies, as is a feature of other forms of leisure investment. Another aspect which has been, we fortunately, and we're proud to say, is making a big impact on investors, is that this investment is a partnership with the Mdluli community. So really unbelievable, wonderful story as to how come the Mdluli community have managed to reclaim their land, which is within the Kruger National Park. I invite you to look at the website and to see the history as to how the Mdluli community comes to own this piece of land in the Kruger National Park, and the partnership that we have formed with them to make this opportunity available. So just Jeff mentioned briefly the concept of ESG. ESG investment is very predominant. It's the current theme of investment, and we finding South Africans are very proud to be able to participate and invest in a project which preserves the heritage of the country, of the community, and is deeply uplifting for those impoverished communities, specifically the Mdluli community, which lives on the western border of the Kruger Park, as you saw when you approach Numbi Gate. The board of directors, our chairman is Nick Dennis. Nick, as you heard from Darren Falls in the previous presentation, was the former chief executive of Tiger Brands. We have Nelly Mdluli and advocate Buyile Mdluli, who are the representatives of the Mdluli community on the project. Chris Skalkwyk on the bottom left side, who's the executive manager of the lodge. Myself as representing the promoter consortium, and Jeff as representing the investors in the 12J from a Grovest perspective. So in summary, there's highly attractive returns. It's 100% tax deductible. The leisure returns are in the form of free bed nights per annum, depending on the size of your investment. And this lodge received a AA plus ESG rating conducted by an independent investment specialist last year. It's the only lodge in South Africa which to date has achieved a AA plus 87% impact rating. So this is your last opportunity. I'm sure you've heard more than once this morning that the sunset is upon us. This is your opportunity, the last investment opportunity, which closes on the 30th of June. I invite you to look at the Mdluli website and specifically the investment section of it. All this information and more is set out in great detail. If you are interested to do that, here you can just click on this and the page will pop up on your phone or on your device, and there you can go straight into the relevant page on the Mdluli website, which provides you with all the information you need about this investment. That's my story, Jeff.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm. A very interesting story. I mean, and as I said, I've been very much part of this journey. Unbelievable product. It turned out much, much better than ever anticipated. Whoever I know who has gone to the lodge has only come back with absolute remarkable stories and great feedback. I'm sure the existing investors can vouch for that as well. I have some questions here, Malcolm, from Jackie. She says, is one bed night for one person? Would a family of 4 require 4 bed nights for one actual night?
Okay, so one bed night is for one person, but it's an adult. So the way we've structured the package is because really we encourage families to visit the lodge, and you saw the oversized tent. So if it were to be a family of 4, it would be 2 bed nights for presumably the husband and wife, and then the children accommodated on that sleeper couch which you saw in the tent. And those children, if they were under the age of 12, they would stay free. So that would be 2 bed nights for a family of 4, presuming the children are under the age of 12.
And Jackie goes on to ask then, over school holidays, there would obviously be a high demand. How do you accommodate the peak period?
Yeah, so Jeff, it's really a question of being proactive and going onto the website and booking well in advance. If you know when your kids' school holidays are and that you'd like to travel to Kruger at that time, you should be proactive, contact the reservations. I must say that, I haven't heard of people who've been disappointed that they've been unable to get the accommodation they want when they've been proactive. Of course, over peak periods, the lodge is busy. There are certain weekends where it's 100% full, as this last weekend, for whatever the various reasons are. Generally, over public holiday long weekends, the lodge is 100% full. But again, book well in advance, be proactive, be well planned, and I don't think that you'd be disappointed.
Good. I mean, again, Jackie, very active on the chat button, so thank you, Jackie. Game lodges are notoriously expensive to run, so many are currently offering 70-80% discounts as their occupancy rates have been badly impacted by overseas tourism hindered by COVID. How will you protect yourself and investors against this going forward?
Yeah, so I mean, that certainly is the case, and we are badly affected because this 100 beds is a large lodge. And in normal times, we do anticipate that maybe 70-80% of the occupancy will be from overseas tour groups. So just to say that price that was highlighted in the presentation of 1,700 Rand per night, ordinarily pre-COVID, the rack rate for that was 3,850. So you're right, Jackie, in saying that it's at a very deep discount to what it ordinarily would be absent COVID. Having said that, the lodge is well capitalized. In the previous capital raises, the total cost of development was 100 million. 65 million has been raised in the previous capital raises. Myself and my colleagues, as the development consortium, we have put in 35 million Rand on medium-term loan as our contribution, the lodge is financially sustainable, and there need be no concern that the lodge cannot sustain itself through the COVID slowdown period.
David asks, Malcolm, is there a difference if you book well in advance in terms of price?
No, the price is fixed. And Jeff, that's the great advantage. The price is fixed from now until December 2029. I mean, that actually is how remarkable the whole thing is. So, and that's why, I had an experience from a friend of mine who was considering investing in a previous capital raise, and for whatever reason declined not to do that. I think decided to invest in an alternative Section 12J. He then contacted me. It wasn't the Easter weekend, it was the long weekend at the end of April. Wanted to go with himself and his two kids, looking on the website and working out how much it was going to cost him. And I said to him, Mark, if you'd only just invested 250 or 500,000 Rand in the 12J, this wouldn't have been an issue. You'd be having your, call it, free holidays in effect from now until 2029. So, that's why this really is a great last opportunity before the sunset.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You're pegging your accommodation rates for the next 9 years. It includes dinner, bed, breakfast, and one game drive. There's no levies, and you can book at any time subject to availability. And a first 5-star quality type accommodation, best in the Kruger Park, that I've certainly am aware of. Malcolm, if anyone wants more information, how do they get more information on Mdluli?
Sure, all the contact details are on the website. Feel free to contact me. I am also working together with Darren Falls, who you saw as presented Meta Capital a short while ago. Darren and I are acting as the fund managers on this lodge. Feel free to contact us. You can contact me by email, by telephone. I'll happily answer all of your questions. If you'd like to meet, there's no problem with that. And in fact, even some people have said, well, they'd like to go and visit the lodge to see it, to experience it in person before they invest. That's also fine. We'll offer you a complimentary bed night. If you'd like to make your way to the park before the 30th of June, we'll offer you a complimentary bed night to really satisfy yourselves of the integrity and all the quality issues that we've been speaking about and emphasizing.
Malcolm, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always great to share with everybody the wonderful experience and what we've actually done in assisting the Mdluli community, bringing their long life dream to reality. This is truly a public community success story that will be emulated by others in the future. So very well done to you and the team.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Jeff, and thanks all your input and unbelievable effort and commitment and the great work that you've done in working as part of the team to get this lodge up and running. It would be remiss of me to say, for those of you who choose not to make a leisure and pleasure investment for whatever your reason, you're more than welcome to come and visit the lodge, book at the website. The prices, the costs are all advertised. But hopefully your decision will be to invest and take advantage of this last final great offer. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.